Guys, what is going on? Match reaction. Newcastle 2, Liverpool 3. And I tell you what, that is an early contender for game of the season. What a game at St James's Park. It had everything. It had late drama. It had a red card. It had everything. Absolutely everything in that game. And, it's Liverpool who have come out with the victory. We knew this game was going to be feisty, with all the Alexander Isak situation that's been going on over the summer. We knew this game was going to be hostile tonight at St James's Park, and, it probably was. Obviously, I don't know because I've not got any sound on when I do watch-alongs, but it probably was very hostile in Newcastle tonight. But, Liverpool got it done. And again, a bit like Brighton last week at Anfield, I don't think Liverpool were at their best tonight. Sorry, not Brighton, Bournemouth. Bournemouth, not Brighton. What an idiot I am. Bournemouth, I apologise for that. But yeah, again, Liverpool were not at their best tonight, again. But again, this is what the top teams do. They find a way to win. And Liverpool found a way to win in the end. I don't think Arne Slot will be pleased with that performance. I think Liverpool in total had 5 shots today. I can guarantee you that will be the lowest shot tally Liverpool have all season. I can guarantee you it. But Arne Slot won't care. 3 points is 3 points. 6 points from 6. You've got Arsenal at Anfield on Sunday. What a game that's going to be. We are going to be doing a watch-along for that one. But yeah, they got the job done today, Liverpool. They got the job done. Eddie Howe and Newcastle, on the other hand, I think can be proud of that performance. I think they can be very proud, and I think they can take a lot from that game tonight. Newcastle, yes, the players were always going to be up for this game, always, for the reasons that we've already said. But you look at last week against Aston Villa, 0-0. I don't think Newcastle were better than Aston Villa. But they weren't great. Tonight they were much better. And, Eddie Howe will be pleased with the fact that, they went 2-0 down with 10 men and managed to bring it back to 2-2. Unfortunately, they just couldn't hold out in the end. But, to be fair, that Liverpool final goal came kind of against the run of play, if I'm being honest with you. If it looked like anyone was going to score the third goal and win the game, it looked like it was going to be Newcastle. But unfortunately, Liverpool, just got the moment and buried it. I think a team was always going to get a big chance, and Liverpool took that chance. So fair play. But I think Eddie Howe can be very pleased with that performance tonight. I think Newcastle, I don't know who Newcastle play next actually, but that's a lot of positives to take for Eddie Howe tonight. But let's talk about the goals. Liverpool take a 1-0 lead in the 35th minute. Ryan Gravenberch with the goal. Again, against the run of play, Newcastle were the better team in the first half, and this goal kind of just came out of the blue, really. It's a brilliant finish by Ryan Gravenberch. Low into the left corner, posting in from outside the box. He just drills it in. Pope, I don't even think Pope dives, if I'm being honest with you. I think he's a little bit unsighted. I think it's by Fabian Schär. But it's a really good finish by Gravenberch right into the corner. Liverpool, against the run of play, take a 1-0 lead. And then just before half-time, you're thinking, okay, Newcastle probably won't mind going in 1-0 down at half-time. But just before half-time, Anthony Gordon, red card. It is a red card. It's a stupid tackle by Anthony Gordon on Van Dijk. Don't know what he's doing. He's dove into Van Dijk, stood her up. He's literally grazed right down his calf. I mean, it's that bad. He took Van Dijk's socks off during the tackle. Clear red card from Gordon. If you see it on the replay, you can't really complain. VAR got that right because the referee, I think, gave a yellow card. And the referee correctly changed his mind to a red card. It was an uphill battle for Newcastle after that point. And then 1 minute, well, not even 1 minute, 30 seconds into the second half, it goes from bad to worse for Newcastle. Ekitike, the player who Newcastle wanted to sign, scores against them at St James's Park and makes it 2-0 to Liverpool. Lovely little layoff by Cody Gakpo allows Ekitike to side-foot it first time. Again, brilliant finish, right in the corner again. A bit like the Gravenberch finish, posting in. Pope's got absolutely no chance again. I mean, he does dive this time, Pope, but nowhere near it. Brilliant finish, brilliant accuracy by Ekitike, and it's 2-0 to Liverpool. And at that minute, you're thinking, it's game over. Newcastle, 10 men, 2-0 down, absolutely no hope. But then, 12 minutes later, in the 57th minute, Bruno Guimaraes makes it 2-1 to Liverpool with a header at the back post. I think the cross comes in. I'm not sure who crosses it in actually, but Guimaraes just jumps all over Kerkez. And, you know, if I'm being honest with you Liverpool fans, Kerkez is a worry for me at crosses from the back post. He looks a bit vulnerable, Kerkez, when players are congesting him for a header. And Guimaraes just jumps all over him, sticks it in past Alisson, and from out of nowhere, it's 2-1, and it's game on. Game on. And to be honest, it was all Newcastle then. Liverpool were not good, people. I'm being serious. You know, Liverpool had 45 minutes of a man advantage. I know they scored, but that was 30 seconds into the second half. They had 45 minutes in that second half, and yes, they managed to win the game, but they were poor in that second half, Liverpool, and, you know, Newcastle in that second half, you've got to say fair play to them. And then in the 88th minute, Osulu makes it 2-2. Long ball up by Pope. Liverpool, for some weird reason, let the ball bounce, and it bounces through to Osulu, who gets there just before Alisson pokes it past Alisson, and it's 2-2. And crazy scenes at St James's Park. I knew we were going to get a winner. 11 minutes were added on, by the way. I mean, I do not agree with that at all. I know Fabian Schär had a head injury, but that was not 11 minutes. That was like 5 minutes. I know the subs and all that, but 11 minutes was a bit crazy, if you ask me. And I didn't agree with that. But yeah, Newcastle were pushing, and I thought Newcastle were actually gonna do it, but it was Liverpool in the 100th minute. Rio Ngumoha, the 16-year-old. Do you know how crazy that is? 16 years of age, in the 100th minute, wins it for Liverpool, and it's a good goal. It's a really good goal from Liverpool. They work it nicely on the right-hand side. I think Salah plays it across to Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai with the little dummy. He knows he's surrounding Szoboszlai. He knows Ngumoha's behind him. And, you know, it allows Ngumoha so much time. I mean, he could take a touch if he wants to, but he has it first time, whips it into the far right corner past Nick Pope. No chance for Nick Pope. He's got absolutely no chance. It's a brilliant finish by Ngumoha. And yeah, the 16-year-old wins it for Liverpool. What a moment for him. What a moment. And, you know, he has impressed Ngumoha in pre-season, apparently, for Liverpool. And, you know, what a moment he's got there in his Premier League debut, I believe. A moment he'll never forget. And Liverpool managed to get the win again when they weren't playing their greatest. Liverpool will kick into gear and start playing well, I've got no doubt. And, you know, what a game to do that in, potentially, on Sunday against Arsenal at Anfield. But you got to say unlucky to Newcastle. You know, they did all that hard work with 10 men to end up losing. Football's a crazy game. But, guys, let me know in the comments your thoughts on the match. Make sure to like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and I'll catch you later.